This story was sent to me by Caressa McKnight, and it is coming out of New York. And before I even get started, this person that you see in this picture is not a biologically born woman. This is a quote unquote transgendered woman, meaning biologically born a man and then had the surgical procedures to turn themselves into a pseudo woman. Let's put it that way. But basically what's going on here is that you have this T class, this member of the T class that was housed with men in a prison for, let me say what the crime was. This person was locked up because they and another person was swindling an elderly woman who I believe was 77 years old at the time out of thousands of dollars to fund their lifestyle. I wouldn't be surprised if the outfit this person has on right here came from that. And they got put in jail, and this person pleaded with the officers or whoever was over at the time to not put them in a unit that had men in it. Well, they ignored this person. They put them in there with the men, and the men, according to them, this person raped them repeatedly. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article. A T-class woman, quote unquote, awaiting trial on charges that he swindled elderly women out of their savings, was raped repeatedly in a federal lockup after they were housed against their will with rowdy male inmates, according to a new lawsuit. Tavoy Malcolm, age 29, pleaded with officials at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center in 2017 to be jailed with women, or at least be isolated after they were busted with a partner on fraud charges. Instead, prison officials ignored Malcolm's gender identity, including the fact that they were receiving hormone therapy and breast augmentation, and housed them with male inmates, two of whom beat him and raped him over the course of 2 months. Even after Malcolm, who goes by the name Tiana Miller, was finally placed with women, they were preyed upon by harassing correctional facility officers. So even after they got the transfer that they wanted to a women's facility, they still got preyed on by the officials, by the officers over at the women's facility. So it was really no escape in sight. It's almost like they knew that this person was coming. Only after plaintiff was assaulted and then raped did BOP, or Bureau of Prisons, transfer plaintiff to a female housing unit, the lawsuit said. Even after the transfer, plaintiff continued to be subjected to harassment and intimidation by BOP correction officers. Prosecutors said Malcolm and a partner, Lorendo Powell, swindled hundreds of thousands of dollars from elderly women to fund a lavish lifestyle that included crocodile leather sneakers, Pigalle, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, pumps by Louboutin, and a Mercedes-Benz sedan. Prosecutors accused Malcolm and Powell of bilking a 77-year-old woman who ended up losing her house. They also scammed a 91-year-old woman during the last 4 months of her life. That's messed up. This woman pretty much died almost broke, if not broke, because of those two. The scams usually involved a bogus claim that a senior citizen won money in the lottery or sweepstakes, and that to get the money, they had to disclose some financial information or pay some taxes. Powell and Malcolm were living together in Gutenberg, New Jersey, with Powell's sister, who was facing charges of cocaine importation and conspiracy to import cocaine. So they all involved in some level of crime. A Bureau of Prison spokesman did not immediately reply to a request for comment. Powell, who is also a transgendered woman, said in a federal civil rights complaint that they had also been raped at MDC. He was sentenced to 51 months in jail by a judge who acknowledged the complaint. "You have suffered," Judge Margot Brody said. "What happened to you in custody should happen to no one." I can honestly say after reading that, I really don't feel any type of way. And what's going to end up happening, should this story really gain some traction, all the Alphabet Academy is going to focus on is the fact that they ignored this person's request to be in a female unit. Of course, the obvious being raped by the inmates over the period of 2 months, and the constant harassments after they were transferred to the unit. And they're going to completely ignore what got this person and their partner into jail in the first place, which is probably what led to them being raped in the first place. So you got to also think about this. They put this person in a male facility. So the men knew probably in the back of their mind that this had to be a guy, because they just wouldn't put a woman there. But also psychologically, their mind could have been playing tricks on them and saw that this person probably looked like a woman. And these guys have not had any, as far as we know, for a while. So they didn't care who it was. Hey, they threw a wig on them and they said, hey, you got breasts like a woman, you got hair like a woman, aesthetically you look like a woman even though you're not, so we're just going to take advantage of you anyway. And then of course, who knows, they may have heard about what these two did, and you know, there's a few things that you just don't do. Is like a violation of a code, and these two took advantage of not one but two elderly people, and the last one they took advantage of died a couple months after they swindled this person. And they were 91. Imagine this person died probably penniless and didn't even know it. So in that aspect, in that regard, I don't feel bad for this person. I don't feel bad for their partner either. I feel absolutely nada. Nothing. Now, like I said, the Alphabet Academy is probably going to completely turn a blind eye to what led them into being in the prison and just focus on the rape and the harassment parts, and they're going to say, oh, that was being transphobic. They probably going to try to get something to get some kind of big lawsuit against the facilities. All will probably fall on deaf ears because of what led them to be there in the first place. Like, they took advantage of two elderly women. That, in my opinion, first off, you shouldn't take advantage of anybody, period. But the fact that you took advantage of two people who were up in age and probably were not in sound mind to take their money like that, because basically that was theft. You were a thief. You stole their money. They probably worked hard for years to accrue that money, and all of that could have been just gone, and you wanted to fund your so-called lavish lifestyle. And we're supposed to feel bad? No. Especially, and I guess I speak from experience because I've had someone steal my identity twice in my life. And I'm telling you right now, to get an investigation done, to get all of that cleared up is no fun. And it costs money that you most likely won't get back. And if they, when they stop the investigation and say money was taken, it's a slim chance you're going to get the money back that was stolen. So I don't feel anything for neither one of them. But like I said, the Alphabet Academy, they get wind of this. They're only going to focus on the part that this person was harassed and raped, and not for why they ended up there in the first place. Crime all be damned, I guess. Because quiet as it's kept, I'm willing to bet there's some more of them in that community who are probably doing the same exact thing. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you follow me on Twitter if you haven't done so already. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.